Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today, as you see, we have a fog of war again. And it's actually been quite interesting. There's been a ton of fog of wars being uploaded very recently that I've noticed. So we may have quite a few of them being posted here in the next week or so, depending on if I get through them and how enjoyable they end up being. But fog of wars are almost always fun to solve for me. So the one we have here is from EPH, which I don't believe I've done a puzzle of theirs before, so that's always good. It's called Heavy Fog at the Airport. And let's jump into our rules and see if we can get this thing figured out. So we've got standard Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. Fog. Most of the airport is covered by fog. Placing a digit correctly in a cell will remove the fog from that cell and the adjacent cells. So let's say we figured out what this cell is. All of this fog around here would clear, and then hopefully we would be able to see some extra clues that we can continue to determine what's going on. Then we've got German whispers. So adjacent digits on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. So we have a green line here, as you can see. Whatever this digit is, this one has to be 5 away from it. Whatever this digit is, this one has to be 5 away from that, and so on and so forth along this line. Then we have maximum. A digit in a gray square must be greater than all digits in cells orthogonally adjacent to it. Okay, we don't have one here that we can look at the moment, but let's just say this is a gray square. When we clear off the fog, we find a gray square here. This digit right here, therefore, then must be greater than these digits because they are orthogonally adjacent to it. So if this was a 6, these could be anything from 1 through 5. That's how that would work. And then we also have thermometers. So digits along gray lines must strictly increase from bulb to tip. Again, we don't have a thermo here. Let's just say we had a thermo like this. This was the bulb here, and it went up to the tip. This would be the lowest digit, and they would increase up to the tip. And that's it. So it's 4 essential rule sets. One is fog of war, and the other ones are fairly basic Sudoku variants. So with that said, let's take a jump into this guy and get it figured out. And the first thing I noticed is that we have this German whisper here. And by looking through the fog, we can see it does this. So therefore this, because we can't have a 5 on a German whisper, therefore this digit must be a 5 because the only place a 5 can go within this region. So we should immediately get information. Now we do have a maximum digit, which means that this is the highest digit for all of the ones that are orthogonally connected to it. So these digits here must all be from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now that tells us that because this is a German whisper, these must be the high digits, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm sure we can reduce the options. Yeah, this can't be 6, this can't be 6, and this can't be 6 because we'd have to have multiple 1s put in. So therefore this has to be 6. Therefore this has to be 1 because it's the only thing that can be put next to a 6. Now, the same will go for a 4, and I'll come back to this stuff later. These can't be 4s because we'd have to have multiple 9s, so get rid of those. This is the 4, this is the 9. And as you see, we're starting to find some thermometers here. We've got this long one here that we can't quite see what it does, and we've got the bulb of one here that seems to be going up in this direction some way. Now we can remove these as being 9s. And oh wait, the 1s, we can get rid of our 1s here. Just didn't clean up my marks. And that's going to be actually quite important because these two digits have to be 2 and 3. So this digit must be able to be 5 away from both 2 and 3. 7 cannot do that. So this has to be 8 and this has to be 7. Now we're starting to see further that this must be a 2 and this must be a 3. And now we've opened up our fog so we can kind of see it a little bit better. Now that we have done so, where can we move to next? And the only thing we really have at the moment is thermometers. So it seems like we're going to have to stick with our thermos and figure out what's what. Hoping that this would have been the best thermo to start with because it's the longest one that we see so far, but we don't know where the bulb is. It could be over here somewhere, it could be down here somewhere, we don't know. So we can't tell which direction these digits are going in, which is not ideal. Now there may be a way to look at it from both ends and say what the bare minimums and the maximums are, and then make a determination from there. But I think what I'll do is I'll start on these guys and see if I can get anything to work out of them. So this one right here, the lowest it can possibly be is 2. Then it could be 4. And then next it could be 6. Now we know it continues all the way out here at least, so this can't go any higher than 6. Now, this just can't be a 6 anyway, because if this is a 6, this has to be a 7, this has to be an 8, and this would have to be a 9. Well, that can't be a 7, so this is not 6. So we've got this thing pared down just a touch. Now, it would have been nicer, actually, if we could have removed the lower digits, because that would make this easier to determine what it actually is, but that is not the case. So we must move on. Now, this can't be 7 or 8, and it clearly can't be 9, so at the most it could be a 6. And I don't know if that's going to start helping us very much, because the variation here now is quite large. Now, if this was a 6, this could be 7 or 8, this could be 8 or 9, and we don't know if it veers off or goes any further than what it does here. Now, if we knew a little bit more about the length of it, we might be able to reduce this, but at the moment we cannot do so. So let's look at this guy, maybe. This one doesn't seem like it's going to be too useful either. Well, again, we can remove the 6 as a possibility, because we know it at least does this. So if this was a 6, this would have to be 7, 8, 9. Again, that 7 interacts. And in doing so, what can this guy be? 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't ever get up to 8. Clearly, it can't be 6 or 7. It can't get up to 8, because then you have to have 9 and 10 and whatever else might be out here in the middle of nowhere. So, maybe we do have to look back here and try to figure something out, because I don't think going any further is going to do much use. Because these could go quite a far ways, they could be quite short. And once we leave this area of the airport, we don't have anything tying it down. Okay, so let's say, as a view of what our options may be, that we know that this does at least this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits at a minimum. Now, we can say the highest and lowest they can possibly be is 1 and 9. We could probably go further. So if we're talking about an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah, they can go down to 7s, probably up to 3s. So if this was a 3, let's say it's the bulb and it was a 3, this could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and get us out. Now again, we do not know if these are the beginnings or the ends. We can only make a guess as to, or a determination as to what just the absolute possibilities could be. Because we know this could still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. Actually, we can remove 3 from this one, as I see that, because if this is a 3 and it's going this way, it would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would see the 7. This would be 8 and 9, so this can't be 3. What about if we kind of look, if this is a 2, this would be 3, 4, it can't be 5, so this would have to be like a 6, but then we'd have a 7, 8, and 9 as well, so this can't be a 2, actually. Right? Because 2, the very bare minimum we could do is 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that doesn't work, so that's not a 2. Can we get rid of our 1? I would kind of doubt it, but we can take a look at it anyway. If it's a 1, this could be 2, 4, 6, and 7, 8, 9. It can't be a 1. Wow, that's really weird that you can figure that out from this. So this cannot be a 1 either, because there's no way to do it. If it's 1, The bare minimum is 2, 4, 6, and then you've already broken it by this point. So if this is a 7, 8, or 9, this cannot be a 7, 8, or 9. So this has to be the lower end. Not saying this is where it starts, but this is the lower end. Not saying this is where it ends, but this is the lower end. So now let's look at going this way, and if there's any issues with either of these. So this is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seems to work perfectly fine. Yes, no issues there. And then 2, of course, could feed upon that in any way it desires. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. Something like that would work. And then 1 could have more ways to get there than this does. Now, if this is a 9, let's say, or let's start with a 7, I guess. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if this is a 7, it's a given. It would be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It cannot be 7. If it's 8, you can go 7, 6. It can't do 4 or 5, so it would have to be 3, 2, 1. It doesn't work, so this has to be a 9. That is quite interesting. Now I'm going to click a 9 here, and if I'm wrong, we're going to realize that I did something off whack, but by going through each bit of logic as to what these could possibly be, this does seem like it has to be a 9. The only way this can really work. So it's again 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1 breaks. This is 9, and it is a 9. Okay, so that is the end. That is quite interesting. So now that we know that, can we go any further with it? And that's going to be a good question. So what can these be? This cannot be a 6, because this would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The 4 would break. Okay, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. It would break again. This has to be an 8. Really strange. Let's go here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 works. How about 6? 6 can't go there, because again, 3 would be the next lowest digit. We'd have 2, 1. We can't get there, so this is a 7. This is I'm liking this, how this is working. It's not something I've seen work in this way before, so this digit, we said it cannot ever go down to 3 because it would break the rest of it, so therefore it has to be 6 because it can't be 4 or 5. Now we get 5, 4, 3 as possibilities. This could be 4, 3, 2. And it doesn't mean that we're at a bulb here again. It just means that this is what we know as possibilities at this point. Okay. Now we've got a German whisper here that is telling us we have one digit that's either a high or a low digit that must be surrounded by 3 other digits that are of the opposite high or low. So this cannot ever be a low digit because we've already used 6 and 7. So these would have to be, we'd have to have 3 different digits from 8 and 9 to fit on here. And we don't have them, we only have 2. So this has to be a high digit. So it's either 8 or 9, which means these are all low digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't be 3, this can't be 1, this can't be 2 or 4. All right. Now, is there something further we can do with that? Yeah, we can't quite reduce. Well, we have a 1, 3 pair here, which is interesting that I just saw. Although it doesn't quite do much for us, just tells us there's a 7 up here at the moment. What it does, and there might be more we can do with these guys after we kind of figured some of this stuff out. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's continue on this way. Now, is there anything that's more or less given? And I don't think there is. We don't know if this turns in any way. It could very well do so. Well, it can't go here, actually, we know that. If it were to have a little branch that went this way, this would have to be an 8 or a 9, but it can't because we have the 8 or 9 there. Now it could technically turn this way, and this could be an 8 or a 9. But we don't know that. Okay, well, let's look at this guy now. So we know these are all high digits, so this cannot be a high digit. It must be a low digit. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It can't ever be a 4, because these would both have to be 9. This can't actually be a 3 either, because we'd have to have an 8 and a 9 in these two. This one can't be 8 or 9. So let's get rid of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we don't quite have it. So again, we're going to have to determine these as high digits. 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be 8 or 9. This can't be 6. Because there's a 6 here, also because you'd have to put a 1 on both sides. This can't be a 9. And this one has to be a low digit from 1, 2, 3, or 4. It cannot be a 4, and it cannot be a 1 or a 3. So this has to be a 2. It's the only option left, which means this is a 4, which means this is not a 3 or a 4. Now that 2 doesn't necessarily, well, it gives us a 1 here. And we know that this has to be a high digit, so it has to be from 6, 7, 8, or 9. It cannot be 6 because there's a 2 here. Plus, we would have to put a 1 on both sides of it. Never is going to happen. It can't also be 7 or 8, so therefore this must be a 9. Again, we have to go down to a low digit. We've already used 1 and 2. We can't put a 4 here because they would have to have 9 on both sides of it, so this has to be a 3. This then has to be a 1. And we're getting a little bit more information now. So this has to be an 8. It's the only digit left that can be 5 away from a 3, which is going to give us our 7 and our 6. And we get more bits to work with. These two digits must be from 4 and 5. Oops, misclicked out of it. 4 and 5. Now, if this was a 4, 3, 2, 1, that could work. So I don't think I can do much with that guy. Let's look at this here, because we've just reduced the options here quite substantially. Now, this digit could be 6, 7, it can't be 8, and it can't be 9. This digit could be 7, it can't be 8, but it could be 9. Is there anything that says lines don't interact with each other? There isn't. So I can't necessarily say that this doesn't go up by the rules that are given. And I'm hoping that's not an issue. This can't be 3. This can't be 1, so this can't be 2, so this can't be 3, because we had a 1 here. These have to be from 2, 3, 4, 5. Put those in. All right, what else do we have? This can't be a 7, because we know this German whisper does this. So therefore, if this was a 7, these would have to be 1 and 2. We already have a 1. So this has to be the 7, which is going to open that up. The 1 here is giving us our 3 here, which we can get rid of that there. And this has to be from either 8 or 9. These have to be low digits, 2, 3, and 4, because we can't have a 1. This can't be 3. And anything else there that we can look at. Oh, the 7 right here. Let's give us a 9 here. So it does end up showing that this does not interact with each other. Alrighty. Now, can we do anything further with this just to get this going? 5, 6. It can't go up to 7 because we can't do 8 or 9. So this has to be from 6 or 7. And those don't quite interact just yet. So there's going to be plenty left that we can do, though. All right, so we do know that the bulb of this thermometer is here because there's nothing else around it. So this has to go down, and it can't ever go down to 2 here because that would force a 1 here, which it can't do. And we can't have a 3 because we've just put that. So this has to be 2, 4, and 5. And this has to be 4. Already. So we have a 6, 7 pair here that I just noticed. So this has to be 5. These two digits have to be from a 1 and 3. There's a 1 here. So this is 1. This is 3. This 6, 7 pair also fixes this to be 5. Then these two digits must be from 1 and 2, and there's a 1 here. So let's put the 2 and the 1. This is a given digit of 7. These are given digits of 3, 6, and 8. That's not 8. That's not 3. That's not 6. We'll pick those up later, supposedly. Okay. This 2 here, can remove the 2 from that guy. We have a 4, 5 pair now, so this can't be 4. This is 2. This is not 2. This is not 2. And so the 4, 5 pair also gets rid of the 4 here, so this is 3. We get a little bit more info. And let's use this info then, I guess. This one here could be 5, 6, 7, or 8, I believe. And this could go up to 6, 7, 8, or 9 at the moment. So that didn't do too much for us. What about these two in this column? Because we only got 2 digits left. They have to be from 8 and 9. Well, that actually helps because we get an 8-9 pair here and an 8-9 pair here. What can we do with it, though? This has to be from 1, 4, or 5. It can't be 4 or 5. So this is 1. This is 4. This is 5. This is 4. Okay. We're still moving here. 3 and the 4 means that this has to be a 9. So this has to be an 8 and a 9. This has to be an 8. This can't be a 4 anymore because that's an 8, so that's 2. These have to be from 5 and 6. We've got a 5 here, so let's put the 6 and the 5 and the 7 and the 6 in. No 6s here for you. We know what these digits have to be. They have to be 1, 2, and 3. This can never be 3. This can never be 1. We do not know if this goes any further, so we can't say much else about this. This can't be 5. So therefore, this can't ever be 7. These are a 7, 8, 9 triple. Same concept as up here. We don't know if it continues further, so we can't make a determination about this digit here. But we can say that these are 4, 5, and 6. Now, did that give us anything? We do get a 2, 3 pair here, which is interesting. It doesn't see anything at the moment, but it's there. So we're going to have to look here, I guess, and we're going to have to probably make some correlations between what we're given when we do that. So these have to be from 6, 7, and 9. This can never be 9. This can never be 6. These must be from 1, 5, and 8. So are we getting anything that we can use here? And I'm not seeing it, which is interesting. Well, this can't be a 5, so let's get rid of that. All right, so we've gotten pretty far here. We've used most of our clues, at least that we have available to us at the moment. And we can't do anything with these guys yet. And again, the only pair we're seeing at the moment is this 2, 3, but it's not interacting with anything here. Now, 2s, we could say can't be in any of these. So one of these is a 2. 3s can't be in these, but they could be in 4 corners. We don't want to go that far down the road. Okay, what is next? What is next? How about 9s? One of these is 9, one of these is 9. So we have an X-wing on 9s, which means none of these can be 9s, and none of these can be 9s because of these two. So this is a 9. Is that going to give us some info? Yes, it does. Good. What do we have left in this row? We've got this can be from 6, 7, or 8. So it is a high digit. It can never be 6 because we can't put 1s in both of these German whisper tips. These have to be from 1, 2, 3. This can't be 2. This can't be 1. And did we get a 1, 2, 3 pair? Beautiful. Tells us this is a 4. And that is going to tell us this is a 3 and a 2. And that's going to tell us this is a 3. And that's going to open this up a bit. So now we've got these clues sort of fleshed out. This can't be a 4, so let's do our cross-referencing to make sure we have everything sorted. And must be missing something here. What is it? A 7, 8, 9 triple, so this can't be 8. I don't see anything else like that, but maybe I need to look a little better because we did have that 1, 2, 3 here, so this can't be a 1. What is this digit again? Sorry, this is from 6, 7, and 8. So we don't, do we 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? We do. But there's too many options as to which ones do which. Alrighty. Now, if this was a 7, let's look at the options here. If this is a 7, this has to be a 1, 2 pair, which does not work, so it would break this here. So this has to be 8. And that has to be a 9. This is not a 9. And that 9 now gives me our 7. This is a 6. This is a 9. So there we go. It's working. That's always nice. This is not 6. Okay, I'm trying to see any other pairs that we have going on here. Now we said we can't have a 1, 2 pair. But that doesn't exclude a couple of options in here. Oh, let's go back around the corner here. This has to be 6. This is 3. This is 8. That 3 then says this has to be a 1. We know this can't be a 1, 2 because I would break that. So this is 3. This is 2. This is 1. This is 2. Hopefully this is going to get us where we need to go now. Although I've said that a couple of times so far, it hasn't quite panned out. So let's look at, well, this is a given digit here. It must be a 5. So that's going to give us our 1. It's going to reduce this to being a 5. These two digits, well, this can't be an 8 or a 6 anymore. Just saw that. So this is 7. That's going to give us our 8 and our 7 and our 5 and our 8. And that's going to give us our 6, our 4, our 5. And we are pretty much done. What is this guy? He's a 4, and you, my friend, are our final 6. And there we go. You solved the puzzle. That was really fun. That was I mean, that thing flowed quite well. Much better than a lot of some of the other Fog of Wars. Not saying it's a superior puzzle because of that, but it definitely, once I got looking into these possibilities on this one, which I didn't realize would have given me anything at all, but they did, and that was the key. And then after this, everything just kind of started flowing off from that, and that was beautiful. So EPH, great puzzle. I love that one. Hope you all did as well. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.